infectious disease physician at UC San Francisco Health, tells KNX In Depth even if some virus particles get through the mask, that's probably okay.
If some happens to slip in, that because masks don't actually block every single virus, and you get infected, that you'll have a more mild infection. And then on top of that, there's lots and lots of data coming out, including literally almost every couple of days, about that even with mild and asymptomatic infection, you can develop immunity.
The CDC says that a combination of universal masking policies, social distancing, ventilation, and hand hygiene could prevent future lockdowns. Numerous Americans are hoping they will be allowed to return home after they've been locked down, stuck on a cruise ship stricken with coronavirus.
It's a smaller cruise ship. Sea Dream 1 holds 112 passengers. 53 were booked for a cruise that started Saturday. By Wednesday, there were passengers not feeling so well. Coronavirus tests proved COVID was on board as well. 7 passengers testing positive.
So I've been quarantined in my cabin 4 days.
Gene Sloan is a travel journalist. He tells KNX that there were unprecedented health measures. 3 days before taking the cruise, everybody had to take a blood test in order to prove negative for coronavirus, and then a test that had to be negative at the pier before boarding the ship.
If I was on vacation right now, would I take a long trip like this? Probably not.
He was there to write about cruising in the pandemic era of this form of entertainment. Craig Figner, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Well, President Trump did some cruising of his own through a large crowd there to support him in Washington, D.C. We have more on that coming up in a few moments. But right now at 12:35, it's time to check on traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. And here's Tim Greenwood.
Good afternoon. Sylmar is still all clogged up. 5 freeway. Southbound is really where most of the traffic's coming from, but north and southbound 5 transition roads to the 210 East are closed for pavement repairs until about 6 o'clock tonight, but it's really jammed up south coming away from the 514 split. San Bernardino 15 northbound between Sierra and Glen Helen Parkway. Well, they're alternating lane closures through the weekend. It's jammed up from the 210. Hollywood Freeway southbound is slow from, it was Hollywood Boulevard. Now it's all the way back to Highland down to the 110. Really tough through there. Also working right now into Bellflower, 105 eastbound, slow from the 710 over to Lakewood. 405 slow because of guardrail work at Manchester, northbound and southbound. North is slow from Century, southbound slow from the 91. Next traffic report at 12:45. With more traffic reports more often, I'm Tim Greenwood in the Prime Choice Funding 24-hour traffic center, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Temperatures topping out in the mid-60s along the coast, lower 70s in LA and Orange County Metro, 76 in the valleys, lower 70s in the high desert, and lower 50s for the mountain communities. Look for warmer temperatures by the end of the weekend and the start of next week as high pressure builds in, so temperatures warming up to the 80s downtown, upper 80s in some of the valley locations with lots of sunshine, but then cooler temperatures return back into the forecast Tuesday through the end of the week. With Southern California's most accurate and dependable forecast, I'm CBS 2 meteorologist Alex Biston for KNX 1070 News Radio.
68 degrees in Fullerton. In Pasadena, it is 64 degrees. And in Chatsworth, 76 degrees at 12:37.
Yes! Ha!
CBS Thursday.
Yes! Yes, yes, yes!
It's a brand new episode of The Unicorn.
I'm so jazzed. I mean, I expected to be jazzed, but I'm even more jazzed than I thought I'd be, and that was pretty jazzed. We got this. We got this, Wade!
Forrest, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. I don't know. It's very inspiring.
A new Unicorn. Thursday, 9:30, 8:30 Central on CBS.
So question, how far would you go for a friend? A ride to the airport? Half your sandwich? Donate a body part?
I need a kidney transplant.
I have 2 kidneys, right?
Yeah.
Why do I need 2?
You don't?
Well, then guess who's getting a kidney?
Life is beautiful.
Silicon Valley's Thomas Middleditch and Tony winner Annalie Ashford.
Kidney buddies for life.
Be positive. New Thursday, 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS.
Stop into Stater Brothers Markets today. We have some great deals for you.
Fresh Foster Farms chicken thighs and drumsticks are a low 69 cents a pound. Get fresh top sirloin steaks at $3.99 a pound and bone-in New Yorks at $4.99 a pound. And while you're there, pick up a Thanksgiving turkey. Jenny O frozen turkeys are just 49 cents a pound with a $25 purchase. Limitations apply.
Visit our website for more great deals now through Tuesday at Stater Brothers Markets.
It's Jane, and if you're in gift-giving mode, we need to talk about KiwiCo. KiwiCo delivers hands-on art and science projects for any age and interest. Build a planetarium, conduct chemistry experiments, all from the comfort of home. Start a new tradition this year with KiwiCo. Everything you need to make STEAM seriously fun. Delivered monthly to your doorstep. Get to kiwico.com/local to save 50% on your first month. That's KIWICO.com/local.
The presidential motorcade rolling past cheering Trump supporters in Washington, D.C., with the president waving to the cheering crowds, although crowd estimates fell well short of the million MAGA march expectations. This march, hosted by numerous groups, including the Proud Boys, an alt-right white supremacist group. CBS News correspondent Errol Barnett reports that there were very few masks being worn by attendees and no social distancing.
There are very few people wearing masks. There is almost no social distancing here. So it's just one representation of how some people around the country feel and believe what President Trump has been saying. The question I've asked them is, will you accept the results? Will you accept a potential Trump loss if and when it is confirmed? And the organizers of this event say they don't think they have to just yet.
The crowd marched to the steps of the Supreme Court, and they were met along the way by supporters of President-elect Joe Biden. In the meantime, Joe Biden has now officially won Georgia, according to CBS News, flipping the traditional red state to blue. President Trump, the presumptive winner in North Carolina. President is still challenging the election with lawsuits, but CBS News election law expert David Becker says those challenges are not really about changing the outcome.
It doesn't really appear it was a strategy to actually overturn the results. The margins are too large, and very clearly President-elect Biden has won this election. It's more likely to be a strategy that's designed to inflame the base and maybe set President Trump up for a post-presidency where he can fundraise and continue to inflame that base with false allegations of voter fraud.
President-elect Biden has now widened his lead in Electoral College votes to 306. We do have a problem. This is a slowdown on the west side approaching Manchester, north and southbound both on the 405. So we'll check that and the rest of traffic in 4 minutes.
My dog's health is too important to feed him some highly processed burnt brown kibble. That's why I've switched to the Farmer's Dog. It's real food cooked fresh and delivered right to my door. The Farmer's Dog meals are made from fresh meat and veggies, plus they worked with top vets to create a complete and balanced meal for your dog. It's also pre-portioned so you don't have to worry about under or overfeeding, and it's just a simple way to give your dog a better diet. Start your trial today by going to thefarmersdog.com and you'll save 50% off plus free shipping. That's thefarmersdog.com.
Inspired by State Farm's surprisingly great rates.
It's so cheap, yeah, got a great rate on the down low, 'cause Jake isn't your average Joe.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
COVID cases are on the rise, and getting tested is easier than ever at COVID Clinic. Convenient drive-through locations all around Los Angeles, Orange County, and Ventura County. COVID Clinic provides professional and reliable testing options from the safety of your car with results in just 20 minutes. That's right, rapid COVID-19 test results in 20 minutes. Testing available for the entire family, plus expedited testing for travelers. Visit covidclinic.org to book an appointment today. If planning to travel over the holidays, be safe and get tested at a COVID clinic near you. Visit covidclinic.org.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2020. Donate now at carsforkids.org. That's Cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate
boats, RVs, and real estate donations.
Looking for a change of scenery? Scottsdale, Arizona's vast Sonoran Desert offers you plenty of sunshine and room to roam. Start your day with a sunrise hike in the lush McDowell Sonoran Preserve. Soak up the sounds of nature on a Salt River kayaking trip. Or savor innovative cuisine on a sun-drenched restaurant patio. And with the holidays coming, Scottsdale's decked out with plenty of seasonal cheer to brighten your days and nights. Visit holidaysinscottsdale.com.
Amazon is now hiring near you. We're looking for team members who know that delivering important packages is important work. Ready to work hard to make someone's every day? Ready for benefits and flexible shifts? Immediate hourly roles are available at amazon.com/apply. That's amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. Depend on us.
12:44, I'm Nathan Roberts. Coming up, Dustin Johnson pulling away from the pack at the Masters. We'll have a report for you coming up.
Airlines prepare for the holiday season. That story coming up in 5 minutes when Bloomberg checks your money.
The surge in COVID cases may cause schools to shut down again. Those stories coming up in the next 15 minutes, but first at 12:45. Traffic every 10 minutes on the 5s, brought to you by Grocery Outlet. And here's Tim Greenwood.
Hollywood Freeway 101 southbound, slow from Hollywood Boulevard into the 110. There's been a lot of congestion. There was even some smoke from an encampment fire near the 4-level interchange, the 101 and the 110 is what they call that. San Bernardino 15 northbound from Sierra to Glen Helen, 1-lane traffic control. They're alternating traffic through there. That traffic is jammed from the 210. Everybody's going over to the 215 to go up Cajon Pass. That's also jammed up from the 210. 405 slow both directions at Manchester because of guardrail work. Now, of course, I want to mention that this week at Grocery Outlet, you can get an in-store coupon for $12 off a delicious 14 to 16-pound Jenny O turkey with a minimum $30 purchase. That's as low as 53 cents a pound. How about that? Next traffic report coming up at 12:55. With more traffic reports more often, I'm Tim Greenwood from the Prime Choice Funding 24-Hour Traffic Center, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Sunny but breezy today. That'll keep it feeling kind of like fall weather, but it's going to stay breezy for a couple of days also. Right now, though, let's find out how things are going in Augusta, Georgia. The Masters Tournament, perfect weather. Dustin Johnson pulling away. Here's the latest.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Dustin Johnson continues to keep the field at arm's length here in the third round, and those are some long arms. DJ 15 under par after a birdie at 13. It's now a 4-shot lead over Dylan Fratelli, Sung J M, Abraham Answer, and Justin Thomas. Rory McIlroy's in the top 10. He closes his third round a short while ago.
At hole 18, Rory McIlroy trying to post a 5-under par 67 after a nice pitch shot from short and left of the green. 5 feet for par, working left to right and in. Good up and down for Rory McIlroy. He will head into Sunday, the final round at 8 under par.
Mark Carnabell with the call, so Rory goes 66 and 67 after that bumbling 3 over 75 in the first round. McIlroy looking for the career Grand Slam. He is 7 shots back. You're listening to exclusive coverage of the 2020 Masters on Westwood One.
And you'll have another report for you coming up in just about a half an hour. 12:47 right now. The Hindu celebration, and I hope I say this correctly, Diwali, takes on a new meaning today with Vice President-elect Kamala Harris being an Indian woman.
Diwali is the Hindu festival of lights. It's a celebration of an ancient victory of Lord Rama. But this year, there's another reason for Indian Americans to celebrate.
The Indian community is obviously very elated at Kamala Harris's achievements and having been elected to serve as vice president.
Jack Varma is a board member at the Pasadena Hindu Temple. He tells KNX he hopes Vice President-elect Harris makes it easier for highly skilled people like scientists and engineers, many who are Indian, to get work immigration visas.
She can be a good ambassador to make international relations between India and China and India and Pakistan better. Right now, they're not on very good terms, so hopefully that will be improved.
Because of COVID, the majority of Los Angeles Diwali celebrations will be online. Emily Valdez, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Despite assurances by the grocery industry that markets will have plenty of inventory during the holiday season, many Southern California shoppers are growing worried about new shortages if people start hoarding again as the COVID-19 outbreak continues to get worse. CBS 2's Candace Crone checked out some stores in the San Fernando Valley and says there are some signs of possible problems ahead.
Paper towels and toilet paper are selling like hotcakes. Even some food items like spaghetti sauce are in high demand. Stores like Target, Whole Foods, Kroger, and others are once again posting signs limiting the number of certain items guests can buy in hopes of preventing more hoarding and shortages like what we saw back in March.
Many shoppers say certain stores seem a lot better stocked than others right now, so it's really hard to know how things will shake out in the coming weeks. You could call them super spreader locations. A new Stanford study identifies the public places that account for most of the cases of coronavirus, and guess what? They include gyms, churches, restaurants, and hotels. Probably could have guessed that. Researcher Serena Chang says they 100 million people to track the spread of COVID-19.
We're able to draw this direct line between mobility increasing to a possibility of deaths. So, for example, right now we're seeing maybe second waves happening, and we might be able to add some insights into why these second waves are happening.
The study found that 10% of locations are responsible for 80% of reported infections. Remember, for breaking news push alerts, plus up-to-the-minute dependable news, and yes, traffic. In case you haven't noticed, it's back in force. Download the radio.com app and favorite KNX. We are everywhere that you are, including your smart speaker. Just say, Alexa, play KNX 1070. It's 12:50 and time to check your money news now. Here's Jeff Bellinger.
The airlines know their recovery depends on making passengers feel safe. And there is some cautious optimism that more people will experience their new cleaning procedures and other efforts during the holiday season. United Airlines projects Thanksgiving week will be the busiest since the start of the pandemic, and it is adding domestic flights to meet the anticipated demand. American, Delta, and JetBlue will also beef up their schedules. They all know that many customers will be on an airplane for the first time since COVID-19 hit. JetBlue CEO Robin Hayes tells Bloomberg vacationers could hold the key to jumpstarting the industry's recovery.
The airline industry believes that leisure travel and domestic travel will recover more quickly than international travel or business travel.
Hayes says a vaccine will be welcome, but it is up to the airlines to reassure customers.
They can fly on an airplane, go to where they're going to go, and they're going to remain completely safe.
We check your money at 20 and 50 after each hour. I'm Bloomberg's Jeff Bellinger for KNX 1070 News Radio.
You check your phone, 30 times a day? Because new stuff is always coming in. It's the same with breaking news. We're just hearing about an incident. News doesn't just happen and then stop. It changes.
Emily Valdez is now at the scene of that developing story.
Stay up to date. Check back in the morning, at noon, and before the end of your day. KNX 1070 News Radio. Depend on us.
Hey, Los Angeles, for a limited time, the LADWP and City of LA have $500 grants to help you pay your utility bills. If you are a low-income Angelino who has been financially impacted by COVID-19, you may qualify for $500 in assistance, but you have to act now. Applications are being accepted online until November 15th. Log on to ladwp.com/utilitycares to apply today. That's ladwp.com/utilitycares. We are all in this together.
Howdy, neighbors.
Hey, Gary.
Have you guys seen Owning's 30-year fixed mortgage rate?
No. Are they good?
Good. They're great. Today, their 30-year fixed is 2.5%, 2.595 APR.
Wow. 30-year fixed. 2.5%, 2.638 APR.
Owning Corporation, Equal Housing Lender, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS 17976. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions.
And look at Owning's actual customer reviews online. They're also great.
Well, honey,
obviously we should refi now with owning. For today's 30-year fixed, 2.5%, 2.595 APR.
Yep, we just need to call 8555-OWNING.
That's 8555-OWNING. Or go online to owning. Nice.
At Stater Brothers Markets, we believe when it comes to feeding your family, you shouldn't have to pay more for great quality.
Now through Tuesday, pick up our own Stater Brothers ice cream or sherbet. Selected 1.75 quarts are just $2.99. Get 3 pounds of our classic roast coffee for $7.99. And try our new Stater Brothers salad blends. Selected 5 to 11 ounce bags are only $1.99.
Stater Brothers Markets family of brands. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference?
12:53. For decades, thousands of people have been flocking to Candy Cane Lane in El Segundo around Christmas to see all the houses that are draped in bright, colorful lights. Well, because of COVID-19, the city just pulled the plug.
And that means for the first time since 1949, Candy Cane Lane has been officially canceled.
It is very hard to give up a tradition. This is something that the community and other communities look very much forward to every year.
It becomes a sort of winter wonderland that kids and adults love, just walking down Acacia Avenue and checking out all the colorful lights.
I went to Candy Cane Lane last year, and it has a lot of lights, and there's a lot of people and a lot of decoration.
But not this year, not in 2020.
Well, it's COVID-19, so they really don't have any other choice, but I'm upset because I would really like to go to Candy Cane Lane.
Who needs the Grinch when you have the coronavirus? People just hope things will be back to normal next year. In El Segundo, John Baird, KNX 1070 News Radio.
These holidays can be stressful even under normal circumstances, of course, but this year, many of us feeling especially bad for being forced to drop our party or travel plans because of the virus. But psychotherapist John Silamparis tells KNX people who are feeling stressed out because they can't do the usual holiday things really do need to give themselves a break and avoid comparing this season to previous years.
They're going to say, you remember when we used to be able to this, and that, and this year we can't. We can't do anything. So giving yourself a break is just removing some of that expectation, that pressure for the holidays to be perfect.
And the doctor points out that there are also actually some people who are relieved to be able to give up some of their usual holiday responsibilities this year. Still got to get those toys for the kids, though, don't you? Yeah, things are getting worse. Things are getting worse, I should say, when it comes to COVID-19 locally. We'll talk more about that after CBS News at the top of the hour. But right now, it's 12:55, and it's traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the fives. Here's Tim Greenwood.
Slow on the west side. The 405 is slow northbound from Century and southbound from just past the 91. They're doing guardrail work near the Manchester on-ramp, and that seems to be the primary culprit. Sylmar, 5 north and southbound connectors to the 210 eastbound will be closed until about 6 o'clock tonight for a repair. This is mostly slowing traffic on the southbound 5, coming away from the 514 merge. Then after the 210, things get much better. Into Bellflower on the 105 eastbound from the 710 over to Lakewood. Plan on some slowing there. Also some slowing. Burbank, southbound on the 5, approaching Burbank Boulevard, has the southbound 5 slow from Hollywood Way. Slow on the Hollywood Freeway into downtown from past Highland down to the 4-level interchange with the 110. Next traffic report at 105. With more traffic reports more often, I'm Tim Greenwood in the Prime Choice Funding 24-hour traffic center, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Sunny weather for the rest of the day. Highs in the mid-60s to the lower 70s, but it'll feel cooler than that because of the wind that's blowing in many areas of Southern California. Tonight, lows into the 50s with clear weather. And again, sunny tomorrow, but a little bit warmer. In fact, we might hit 80 degrees tomorrow. Could be, and we have a warming trend coming up as we get into the next week. But currently, temperature-wise, it is 67 degrees in Los Angeles, 68 degrees at this hour in Santa Ana, and 74 degrees in Van Nuys at 12:57.
It's Jane, and if you're in gift-giving mode, we need to talk about KiwiCo. KiwiCo delivers hands-on art and science projects for any age and interest. Build a planetarium, conduct chemistry experiments, all from the comfort of home. Start a new tradition this year with KiwiCo. Everything you need to make STEAM seriously fun. Delivered monthly to your doorstep. Get to kiwico.com/local to save 50% on your first month. That's KIWICO.com/local.
Dinner. Highly processed, burnt brown kibble. So much for the beautiful pictures of fresh salmon and roast chicken on the bag. Make the switch to the Farmer's Dog. Pet food that looks and smells like real food because it is. The Farmer's Dog delivers pre-portioned, vet-approved meals right to your door. So your dog gets the nutrients they need from fresh meat and veggies, not processed fillers and starches. Visit thefarmersdog.com and you'll save 50% on your first box plus free shipping. That's thefarmersdog.com. Long live dogs.
To celebrate State Farm's surprisingly great rates, we gave this song surprisingly great lyrics.
State Farm, prices made just for you. That's what I said now. Prices that surprise you. Just go ahead now, keep that money in your pockets. And that's on bread now. Save up, maybe one day buy a rocket. Just get a quote now.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Amazon is now hiring near you. We're looking for team members who know that delivering important packages is important work. Ready to work hard to make someone's every day? Ready for benefits and flexible shifts? Immediate hourly roles are available at amazon.com/apply. That's amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
It's beginning to look a lot like a McCafe Peppermint Mocha. The holiday favorite is back at McDonald's, and that warm seasonal cheer can't come soon enough. So get a $2 small for a limited time, or treat yourself to one of our other delightfully roasted lattes, mochas, and macchiatos. Your holiday season starts right after that first sip. McCafe, good is brewing, only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary, limited time offer.
The news you need now more than ever from the people you trust. Live from the Antellalone Barrow Smart Studios, Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station. KNX, KRTH FM HD2, Los Angeles. KNX 1070 News Radio. Depend on us.
Coming up, our top local story. Well, local schools in danger of having to shut down again. Also, Orange County is close to the dreaded purple tier. And there is a holiday advisory, all, of course, because of the surge in COVID cases. We have those stories, plus traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. All of it is coming up in just 5 minutes after CBS News covers the world at 1 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Allison Keyes in Washington. A record-setting high number of daily cases of the coronavirus in the U.S. as more than 184,000 confirmed cases were reported on Friday. Some states and cities are increasing restrictions, and CBS's Michael George reports.
1 in every 378 Americans tested positive for the virus this week, and a projection the surge will be at its height in January.
Health experts are warning people to keep up social distancing and wear their mask over the Thanksgiving holiday. Dr. Celine Gauder is on President-elect Joe Biden's coronavirus task force and says mask mandates are an issue.
There has been discussion of mandates, but the problem is how are you going to be able to enforce that down to the individual level? I think this is really a massive behavior change, social marketing kind of situation where we need people, 1, to believe that masks work, 2, to feel comfortable wearing them, and 3, for this to become a social norm.
CBS's Nicole Killian says there are serious discussions going on about how to handle the spike in cases.
At least one member of the president-elect's new coronavirus task force has proposed a short-term national lockdown to get the pandemic under control. But other panel members have pushed back against the idea. A spokesperson for the Biden transition says his advisors have a range of viewpoints, and President-elect Biden wants to hear from all sides, even if they disagree.
COVID-19 is on the rise in Italy as well. CBS's Chris Livesay reports.
Italy is now locking down the hardest hit regions, trying to get this outbreak under control in time for Christmas. The last time COVID spiked here so dramatically, the U.S. was just a few weeks behind.
Turning now to the White House, where President Trump is still refusing to concede the election and continues legal challenges under the false narrative that he was cheated. CBS News election law expert David Becker explains.
It's more likely to be a strategy that's designed to inflame the base and maybe set President Trump up for a post-presidency where he can fundraise and continue to inflame that base with false allegations of voter fraud.
Mr. Trump's supporters rallied in the nation's capital today, and CBS's Errol Barnett reports.
There are very few people wearing masks. There is almost no social distancing here.
There were some minor clashes between the president's supporters and people in favor of President-elect Joe Biden and Black Lives Matter. A little bit of Christmas cheer in New York City as a 2020 Rockefeller Center Christmas tree arrives. The Norway spruce is 75 feet tall, and it is the unofficial beginning of the holiday season. This is CBS News.
You can listen to CBS News Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on radio.com or the radio.com app. Download it today.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-721-4880. That's 800-721-4880. 800-721-4880. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
The ultimate invasion of personal space amid the COVID-19 pandemic. New Orleans is hosting an adult swinging convention, and yeah, we mean that kind of swinging. Hundreds of grown folk are hanging out at what's being called the Naughty in Nolans Gathering, which features an adult play area where couples can interact with others, and there's also a sexual freedom parade in the city streets. There's a first for baseball as well.
The Marlins named longtime baseball executive Kim Ang as the team's next general manager. She becomes the highest-ranking woman in baseball operations in the major leagues, and she's believed to be the first female GM for a men's team in a major professional sport in North America. Ang has more than 30 years of experience combined at multiple stops, including the Chicago White Sox, Los Angeles Dodgers, and New York Yankees. And it's a homecoming of sorts with her boss. The Marlins are owned by Derek Jeter, who spent his entire 20-year career with the Yanks.
CBS News, I'm Allison Keys.
This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. Good afternoon, I'm Nathan Roberts. Our top local stories at 105, a COVID surge may cause local schools to shut down. And Orange County facing new potential restrictions and closures as well. First, it's traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Here's Tim Greenwood.
We have a new problem, 5 northbound at Broadway on the edge of downtown. Somebody is conked out. They say it's a collision, but they only mention one vehicle on the police log. But it is in the leftmost lane, which is the one you don't want to suddenly have something stop. So 5 northbound Broadway, watch out, trouble, left lane. Sylmar, 5 north and southbound connectors to the 210 East, closed until 6 o'clock tonight for pavement repair. Most of the jam up is on the southbound side, coming away from the 514 merge. 405, slow both directions because of guardrail work at the Manchester on-ramp. Northbound, you'll be slow from Century Boulevard. Southbound, you'll be checking your watch from just past the 91. South Fontana, 10 eastbound at Cedar Avenue. Metal debris just dropped in the middle lanes. Into Bellflower, east on the 105 from the 710. It's slow over to Lakewood. Slow through the middle of Burbank, right around Burbank Boulevard as well. Hollywood Freeway is slow into downtown on the southbound side from certainly past Highland and definitely past Western down to the 110. And a couch in the right lane, 60 eastbound at Valley Way. Next traffic report at 1:15. I'm Tim Greenwood with more traffic reports more often in the Prime Choice Funding 24-hour traffic center, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Sunny and windy today, highs in the mid-60s to the lower 70s. Tonight, clear, lows in the 50s. There will be wind again tomorrow, but it will will warm up a little bit. We should see 80-degree temperatures in parts of Southern California for your Sunday. Fullerton is at 70 degrees right now, also 70 degrees in Pasadena. And in Chatsworth, it's 75 degrees. We're at 107 on this Saturday afternoon. In L.A. County, may have to completely shut down its schools again if this latest coronavirus surge just keeps getting worse.
The rise in transmission is being described as alarming by the county's public health director. The L.A. Times reports Barbara Ferrer's warning education leaders that all in-person learning may be canceled again if cases continue to climb and the healthcare system starts to get overwhelmed. But Ferrer says it's also not too late to turn things around and is asking schools to be ready for accelerated reopenings if there is a rapid drop in cases. That seems unlikely anytime soon. We've seen on average more than 2,200 a day last week. Ferrer says LA County is expected to remain in the strictest tier in the state's coronavirus reopening system for several more weeks at least.
I don't think this is where any of us anticipated being as we head into the fall and winter. It isn't just that our recovery journey is stalled. It's also that we now have very tough choices in front of us as we head into Thanksgiving and the winter holidays.
The Times says Ferrer has asked every school to be prepared for distance learning in January. Claudia Pescuta, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Orange County facing the possibility of being moved back into the state's most restrictive purple tier of COVID-19 regulations. This because of a surge in new infections just 2 months after dropping into the more lenient red tier because it had been doing well in limiting the spread of the virus. Along with 2 more deaths, the OC recorded 528 new cases during the latest reporting period. That's nearly double the daily number from just a week ago. And the number of hospitalizations has also been trending up lately. If the county does get stuck back into the purple tier, it may cause tougher restrictions to be imposed on many businesses and social activities that have recently been able to open up again. And of course, all of this happening right around Thanksgiving. California health officials are urging residents to avoid traveling during the holiday season. This comes after the governor announced a travel advisory on Friday that urges people to quarantine for 14 days after they arrive in the state. Just a day before this announcement, California became the second state to hit 1 million coronavirus cases. State officials say that cases are rising 20% faster now than at the beginning of the pandemic. CBS 2's Lori Perez spoke to some Californians about how the travel advisory might affect them.
Just like wearing a mask or not, the prospect of more restrictions is acceptable to some and less so to others who say of the pandemic,
it's not something that really affects us that much.
It is affecting Thanksgiving plans for plenty of others who will be staying at home for the holidays, celebrating within their own households, which state officials are encouraging.
It's okay. I think we all need to modify so we can continue on.
The governor also warns that if things do not improve anytime soon, the state might kick things up a notch by actually issuing a ban. Travel ban. A small plane broke apart in a crash landing near an Inland Empire airfield last night. The pilot of the Cessna aircraft reported engine problems as he was preparing to land at the San Bernardino International Airport. It then violently crashed into a dry river bed about a mile south of the airport. The pilot was rescued from the wreckage and rushed to the hospital. He is being treated for what are described as life-threatening injuries. We have a problem slow